Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muhammad Yusuf, and you're now watching TVS News at 5. Let us begin with our top story. There is strength in numbers, and organizing it is vital in order for Sarawak to restore Sarawak's rights and demand greater allocation. Therefore, the people must carry out their rights to vote in the upcoming general election.
In order to be really someone that can protect Sarawak, to demand the money and the power back, it's not just talking. We need to have enough numbers to demand that. So it's very important for Sarawakian to remain united. I hope that Sarawakian, we can be like how we fight COVID, the solidarity and help each other, how we fight COVID. And that spirit, same spirit, should carry forward to the next GE.
Dr. Sim was met on Monday after lighting the White Cat statue at Padungan Roundabout in conjunction with Wesak Day celebration. He said under Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS, the state has always been vocal in demanding 1/3 of representatives from Sabah and Sarawak in Parliament to safeguard the rights of both Bornean states. Meanwhile, the Minister of Public Health, Local Government and Housing urged eligible individuals for the second booster dose to get the shot as soon as possible. This comes as the take-up rate for the second booster dose among eligible individuals over 60 with comorbidities in the state is low, with only 2,000 or 0.625% out of 320,000 eligible recipients taken the shot so far.
Urge those who are at risk, who are eligible, please make use of the opportunity to get your second booster dose.
Now, Malaysia's low-cost carrier airline AirAsia is looking into the viability of having a new Cebu-Singapore direct round trip. State Transport Minister Datuk Seri Lee Kim Shin said the ministry had also requested the airline to increase the number of flights to Sarawak. Lee said apart from AirAsia, meetings had also been held with Malindo Air, Firefly and Maswings as Sarawak wants to increase flights into the state following the reopening of its borders. The state government also intends to revive the Kuching-Pontianak sector, which was suspended after the COVID-19 pandemic struck. Last week, Royal Brunei Airlines had resumed twice-weekly flights to Kuching, while Scoot Tiger Air resumed its Singapore-Kuching sector with 5 flights weekly from April 3rd. AirAsia will respond to consumer issues, including flight delays and rescheduling, to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPDNHEP within 24 hours. Its Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi said the ministry had made a preliminary probe in terms of consumer interests under the ministry's purview and contacted AirAsia management for feedbacks. He said although the aviation industry was under the purview of the Transport Ministry, the ministry will intervene if it was related to consumer rights. Thus, he urged the Transport Ministry and the Malaysian Aviation Commission (MAVCOM) to be more proactive on issues pertaining to AirAsia's flight delays and rescheduling. Among the issues highlighted in the initial engagement with AirAsia are flight delays, review of flight schedules of up to more than 6 hours, as well as consumers' eligibility for compensation in the event of flight delays. On Monday, Nanta said the ministry would probe on delays and rescheduling of domestic flights involving AirAsia, following complaints received from consumers of AirAsia flight delays to various destinations in the country are ongoing since detected by the end of April. Sarawak will be the first state in Malaysia to implement the Lotus Voyager Group or LVG learning platform to educate on Sarawak as a tourist destination and its tourism products. The platform will enable more collaboration with tourism professionals around the world and will be highlighting Sarawak's wonders in 5 different modules, namely culture, adventure, nature, food and festivals.
Since the launch of these modules in early April, there are currently 1,346 outbound tour operators in the region who are ready to enroll in the course. We are expecting over 10,000 selective travel agents to be trained under the course by the end of 2022. Leveraging on its networking facilities will also provide our Sarawak tourism stakeholders the opportunity to network and create collaboration with its active members all around the world, all year round.
The program will also assign 1,000 new users for the course every month, with promotions lined up in India, the Nordic market, and in the UK in the upcoming months. Meanwhile, STB's digital director Melvin Jong hopes that the LVG learning platform could achieve the objective of its creation.
We hope to be able to answer the questions: who is coming to Sarawak? Where are they coming from? Why are they here? What are they doing in Sarawak? And how did they enter Sarawak? Users of the STB Intel can also monitor changes and compare, such as year against year figures. What's the current share of voice? Share of voice being how many people are searching for Sarawak compared to other states in Malaysia. And they can also look at online ratings of our products, such as those found on TripAdvisor and other very popular tourism websites.
The tourism industry has been transformed further via STB Intel, an online data platform containing data compiled from government agencies, tourism websites, and Google Analytics. These data are accessible to tourism industry stakeholders to create more informed strategies and develop more targeted products while having a direct communication channel with the Sarawak Tourism Board STB. STB Intel and LVG Learning Platform are accessible to tourism players at Sarawak Tourism Board's official website at www.sarawaktourism.com.
Kalau gudi, kita bermain dari kecil. Gudi adalah permainan turun-temurun lah. Mun di Serikit kita panggil gudi sao.
TVS membawakan sebuah drama menarik untuk tontonan anda. Sultan telah ditinggalkan suaminya Seymour selama 15 tahun.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Deputy Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Datuk Rosal Wahid, led the Malaysian delegation on a franchise trade mission to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, from 7th to 9th May. The trade mission was intended to encourage and motivate Malaysian brands' expansion to the Middle East market, especially in Saudi Arabia, while connecting partnerships with foreign potential investors through the business matching program. The Franchise Malaysia brand has grown as a reputable force in Southeast Asia with more than 68 brands in 74 countries and is expected to grow further in the post-COVID-19 era. The delegation comprises of officials from the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs (MDTCA), Malaysian Franchise Association (MFA), and 5 of Malaysia's top brands, Chisu, CIC, where leaders are born, Genius Olad, US Pizza, and Siti Khadijah. In the year 2021, the franchise industry in Malaysia has recorded a total sale of 13 billion ringgit, which was a 16.4% increase compared to 2018, with a total recorded sale of 11.16 billion ringgit. This has also welcomed foreign reputable retail and wholesale operators to operate their businesses in Malaysia and at the same time carry Malaysian products and brands in their operations overseas. Now, following the unofficial landslide victory of Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in the Philippines election, question remains as to what Marcos's return to power means for the Philippines. To that, we refer to Manila-based analyst Marissa Rahman on her opinion on this matter. Now, Marissa, why do you think the votes swing in Ferdinand Marcos's favor?
I basically think that the reason people are gravitating towards someone like Bongbong Marcos in the Philippines is because they've become very disillusioned with, this whole liberal democracy thing, which the opposition has been touting, and which has been developing in the Philippines since they had their People's Power Revolution in 1986. That was when liberal democracy kind of came into the Philippines. But I think people have become very disillusioned with the idea of like liberal democracy and the things that come with it, because they haven't actually seen any improvement in their lives. Despite the fact that the People's Power Revolution brought with it freedom of speech, freedom of press, and competitive elections and things like that, a lot of the wealth and power was still concentrated amongst the elite and the wealthy. So I think people just really wanted, this coupled with COVID-19, which exacerbated obviously economic inequality and pushed more people into poverty, really forced people into kind of trying to look for an alternative towards liberal democracy, which to them isn't working, which in their eyes isn't working. I think it also helps, at least in the context of the Philippines, is that the median age is 25. So most voters are too young to remember, the first Marcos regime and martial law and the excesses and abuses. So Bongbong Marcos really took advantage with social media to galvanize the support base of these young voters. And I think that's why, and it's something that we're kind of seeing all across the region, where people are tired of, these liberal kind of, the more liberal leaders, because they don't think it's working and they're gravitating towards more strongman politics. I think that's the advantage that Marcos had. I don't think it's a surprising trend because we see it in quite a few places.
Thank you, Marissa. And that would be all the time we have for TVS News at 5. Don't forget to tune in tonight for TVS Nightline with Ms. Handy Gui. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Selamat Hari Raya. Maaf Zahir dan Batin.